everyone. A very warm welcome to another episode of Psychology Talks. And we are here today to discuss the importance of mental health. This is one of the reasons that I started my live shows and podcasts to spread awareness about this topic because I feel that this is the topic that we need to talk about on a lot of platforms to create more awareness about it. Because mental health is just not about like being depressed or having schizophrenia or like extreme sort of mental disorder. It's about it encompasses the all aspect of feeling good or having the well-being of maybe like you can have the emotional well-being, social well-being when you feel good, because when we feel good it affects how we think, how we feel and we act. It helps us determine how we handle the stress, relate to others and make choices. And mental health is very, very important at every stage of life, from childhood to adolescent. Maybe like if we see that a kid may also suffer from stress or having some sort of problem, we cannot discard this. We cannot just say that mental health cannot affect child or younger generation. It equally hit the same way. So whenever like when we see that people are suffering, we should reach out to them and ask what is happening in their mind, what is happening in their life. And at the same time, one should not suffer alone. If they feel that they are unable to handle their stress or sadness in the life, that means that it is a time that they should seek help. So today I invited the guest who is the advocate of mental health. She is an amazing person, not only for like not only the way like she's creating content and creating awareness, but by nature she is just helping people around, and her agenda is just to help people and and to give them the voice that others can listen to them. So, and she has gone through a lot in the life, and that is what makes her more stronger, and that is why she is on the mission to help others. Her name is Rachel Beck, and she is an inspiring influencer, I would say, on LinkedIn. Her content is so amazing, and every day her talks and shows help several people a lot on this platform and on others. She is a mental health activist and an advocate. She's an her struggles in life were so difficult that she did not um, face, or she did not accept failure. She faced every steps, every struggle with courage, and that is what her strength is. And now she is a public speaker, and she is an author of the book. So let's welcome Rachel. Hello,
Hello,
Rachel.
hello. Thank
Very
you.
warm welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for that absolutely beautiful introduction. I'm deeply humbled, and I'm going to say this: people need to follow my sister. You're amazing. I
Thank you.
love your voice.
Thank you so much. To be honest, I'm still a little bit surprised that I haven't got the notification on this. But yes, it is. I think it was earlier or what? Wait. Somehow, no idea that. Anyways, it is showing somehow. So let's move. If
Okay, we're live. Okay. Hello, everyone.
anyways, I wondered that why people are not joining somehow. Maybe. because usually what's happening these days, that I'm unable to sometimes get my notification, and my notification stops. So no idea what happens these days, maybe like the change in algorithm or what. So anyways, maybe like we'll continue and then we'll see that what's going on. So anyways, moving on to our discussion.
Someone just said, "Hey guys." Okay, so
Oh, thank
thank you,
you. At
Francis.
least. Thank
You're
you.
one
So
of
we are
the
live at least. Yeah, because I cannot see my in the
thank you.
notifications. I was just surprised. And since past
Um,
couple of days, actually, let's past few like days, I've been extremely busy with my work, and I'm not able to actually give too much time to the LinkedIn. I just come sometimes post and now not even posting these days. So like
who is live.
don't know what's happening. So happy to see you too. Thank you for joining. So
Thank you.
anyways, so Rachel, just tell us a little bit about your inspiring story. I mean, you've gone through a lot, you have struggled, and I mean, you've set an example for others. So just share a little bit of your life story with us, so like our audience get to know more about you.
It's a really complicated story, actually. Uh, and thank you for
Yeah,
asking.
maybe just a brief.
So I was actually born in India. My mom died 2 days after giving birth. I'm actually looking for my biological father. I
Oh.
was placed in the home of the founder of the orphanage. The orphanage is still standing today. And I was adopted. I was raised in America. I was
Oh,
adopted by a white Jewish family, so I am an Indian Jewish woman. And a lot of my life hasn't been easy. So I'm deeply passionate about people not making, assumptions about who we are, to take the time, get to know the content creators that are on LinkedIn.
mm,
And I'm extremely, you and I share love of psychology. So
yeah.
I minored in psychology, I minored in gender studies.
Mhm.
And so I'm deeply passionate about that. You talked about how mental health affects children.
Yeah.
I was a teacher in my 20s, so I can
Mhm.
absolutely say that that is correct.
Okay, yeah.
Um, I'm not. Let me just say this: I'm not a mental health expert. That's my disclosure. How is it? But I am passionate about it because I've had so much trauma, and you know what compounded trauma is, what compounded grief is. So that's been a huge part of my life. But like you said, it's a conscious choice. I
Yeah.
make that conscious choice to get back up every single day. And I can sorry.
Mhm.
So I make those choices every single day. I'm
Yeah.
trying to end the stigma around mental health
Yeah.
because I have PTSD, so I'm
Yeah.
not quiet about it. I'm not shy
Mhm.
about it. So
Mhm.
those are things that we
Yeah.
need to talk about. We need to have these conversations. We need to shy away. We need to support that. Some people are holding on by a thread right now. That's the reality.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, you are actually, I would say that you don't need to be a psychologist to help people. So, I mean, that's your agenda. It doesn't matter that you haven't attained a degree or what, but as long as you have gone through the experience, and I think experience is the biggest teacher, because
Absolutely.
like if whatever we read in the book, we cannot assimilate this knowledge unless we experience it, so like if you have gone through it, I think no one else can know better than you that how it feels to be in the situation, and what it takes to come out from that, like trauma or that experience. So uh, of course, if you are helping people, so that's based on your experience which you have gained through a lot of struggles, and that is definitely in itself it's valid, and it doesn't say that like you if you're not a therapist you cannot help people.
We have
So
to help people, sweetie.
yeah,
Like you and I
yeah,
both know, we try. We consciously make that choice every single day
yeah,
to get up and to help people,
yeah,
and it's very necessary. You know,
yeah.
when the pandemic started 2 years ago, March will be about 2 years now. It's like 2 years this pandemic
Mhm.
started, and people had a choice. You know, how do they want to be remembered in this moment in history? Or do they want to actually make a difference? Do they want to actually help this world? So
Mm.
I think that if everybody did their part
Yeah,
to help, especially when it comes to mental health,
yeah,
especially when it comes, you'll never ever see me writing a negative comment.
yeah,
If I don't have anything nice to say, I just don't say anything at all. That's how we were all raised.
yeah,
Um, I'm deeply conscious of every word, everything I write,
yeah.
because people are struggling so bad right now. So
Mhm.
they need empathy. They need love. They
Absolutely.
need kindness. Everything that you're doing every single day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The thing is, like, if we talk about mental health, there's still so much stigma attached to it. So, why do you think that, people are still so shy in seeking help? What do you think? What holds them back? I know, of course, there is definitely one stigma, of course, that people will always see that if they talk about their miseries or their pain or their sadness in their life, or they share the life, they feel that they will be judged, they will be picked up. So, but do you think that it is so much more that that is not the only reason that holds them back, or is there anything else also that holds them back and from sharing what they are going through?
I
So
think
what's your opinion?
it's fear of judgment, fear of criticism. This is what's
Yeah,
holding people. That's why I'm like I'm not shy about it. I'm like
yeah,
I have PTSD. No one went through what I went through to get that diagnosis.
yeah,
So I feel like, and look, some people don't want to share, and that's okay too. We have to honor that. Some people don't want to share their stories. I
yeah.
think it takes a tremendous amount of courage to
Mm.
ask for help and
Yeah,
to say, and that's why you see, you'll see me write something that says you're not alone today or you're
mm,
loved today. Why? Because of all the negativity that people are bombarded with every single day. And I remember taking cognitive psychology,
oh,
and
okay.
someone raised their hand in the class, and it was a really good question. And he was talking about negativity, the negative comments, and what the professor said was that for one negative comment, ready?
Yeah,
It takes 10 comments to
yeah,
erase that in your brain. 10 comments. Think about that.
absolutely.
So I'm very conscious to write positive, encouraging, nurturing comments. I don't know, and I'm on your post every day. I don't know what someone said to you that day,
Yeah,
but it is going to be my job to lift you up and to
yeah,
encourage you that
yeah,
day. That is going to be part of my job.
yeah,
I think that people need to understand that we are not less than. We are not less than because we have a diagnosis. It does not make us less
yeah,
than a person. You know, we are not less than, and
yeah,
that's it. We are not. There is absolutely no shame. But
yeah.
just here's the thing, Amber. You know, if I said you, God forbid,
Mm,
I had a physical ailment, right?
yeah.
Like, you know, and I've gone through my health struggles. You know that I battled a disease for 20 years. Um,
Hmm.
no one would say anything to us about it. They would say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you are going through this. I'm sorry, sweetie, that you have this physical diagnosis." So that same compassion that goes to people who have and it is physical. It's our brain, you know,
Yeah,
it is physical. So that empathy for someone saying, "I have this, I'm suffering from this," needs to go to the mental health community, and I'm doing everything in my power to change this.
yeah, yeah. That's very true. Actually, that's if you just encourage someone and they feel that you actually made their day, and you don't know that just one simple comment, a positive comment, have the great impact. Not only that day, but on their lives also, because you don't know like what other people is going through in their lives. Just a simple one smile or just one comment actually can be so meaningful for them. So we have to be very careful when we actually interact with other people. And as you mentioned that we have to be empathetic, we have to think from their perspective as well, that if someone is maybe saying something, there is definitely could be a reason for that, and it's not something that they are always like people are against you or they want to let you down. They could be, they have the other people also, they go through a lot in their life. So that's we should realize the fact that the other one also needs to be listened, and they need to be, they also need love just like that we want love. So if we should be the one taking the initiative, take the first step and break this thing. So otherwise it keeps on going, the resentment increase and the grudges increases. Like if you say, oh my god, that person said something, that may not be the intention of to hurt you, but if you feel offended, you just need to just step back and see that, okay, was it really meant to be, like, do I or was the comment is meant to be for me to attack, I mean they attack me, or am I overreacting? So just need to think from that perspective also.
I have
So
a lot of thoughts on that, sweetheart. Can I just answer?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe that every human being is responsible for the words that come out of their mouth. So when people say something, and it might have been negative or hurtful or painful, I don't. I'm like, why'd you just say that?
Yeah.
I always think before I speak. I always think before I write something. So I think people need to be accountable for what they're saying and what
Abs-
they're doing. I think that they really need to think about that. What do
yeah.
they say?
Absolutely. And I think that is the main first step of have to know that are you a mentally healthy person or not. Because if it is very important to have the self awareness. Like for example, if the person is like very spontaneous and always think that the other people are doing this, I mean, if the person is judging other, that is the sign that there is something wrong with them as well. So it's basically it starts with self-awareness, and then we start moving on to other. First of all, when we all need to have um, sort of I would say a deep introspection with our own self to realize that where do we stand. And that's what we always say, that we
And
should not be afraid to seek help, because when we have when we have this introspection with our own self, we may realize that we are wrong, and then we may realize that we need help. So there is nothing to be afraid of or to feel shy about it. Like, okay, if I have a problem with my, let's say, uh, depression or or even the mindset, like a lot of people do are stuck with their own, but unless they have this introspection or have this self-awareness, till then they cannot actually seek help. So it is, everything starts with, I feel, that self-awareness. Yeah.
it's self-aware. And I work. You know what? I work. Oh, I love this comment. I
Yeah.
love. I work. I should say, love. I work from the inside out, sweet. Okay, so I work on personal development every single day. I take that time, and there's things that I do. And that's important to me because I was taught when I was 18 years old that the minute you become stagnant, you're not growing.
Yeah.
You're not growing. So I take the time. I take the work that's necessary. I can't. Here's something perfect example. You'll understand this.
Mm,
I can't help the world if I don't take care of myself. That's what it comes down. And let's talk about that.
mhm.
Self care, not selfish at all. It is
Yeah.
very, very necessary for people. So I watch when people are like pushing people. because I really I look at what people write on my friends' posts. I look at things people are saying.
Mm.
You don't need to push people. Everybody's walking their own pace. For me, that's the biggest turnoff. It is the biggest when
Yeah.
someone like pushes me, I'm like, goodbye. So
Mhm.
that is like give people patience,
Yeah.
give them compassion, understand that every person matters in my network, and I do my best to get back to everybody. But to have patience, and patience is a form of love and empathy in my eyes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very true.
It
And yeah, judgment, like,
is
yeah,
essential.
this is essential and good. Need to add it. Very good. I completely agree. This is a brilliant comment. And
It's how the message is delivered, though, right? So
yeah.
we all need feedback, constructive feedback. I have people that I trust that I go to for this,
Mhm.
but it is it's the message. It is truly the way you sit down and you explain it. So
Mhm.
that's really important.
Yeah, and as we say that it actually uh, like this mental health, like the more we get to know about and more we practice empathy and understanding, it helps develop relationship. And once we develop good relationship, it affects not only the personal life, our professional life as well, because it's even now, if we talk about professional lives and corporate world, it's all about now how we deal our emotion, because nowadays I feel that emotional intelligence is more important than just the in IQ. So yeah,
I
if
100% agree with you.
yeah.
Honestly, those are the people I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people who have a high EQ, that have
Mm.
a very high EQ. Those are the people. That's why I love you. You know,
Yeah,
because that's who you are. You have very high EQ, and
yeah.
so I look for those people. Those are the people I collaborate. Those are the people I work with. I look for them. You know, we all have our cognitive intelligence, right? We
Mm.
have the things that we were taught that we have learned, but it's that EQ when it comes down to what kind of human being are you. I look for people's souls. So
Yeah,
I'm an empath, right? So
yeah.
I feel everything. I feel
Mm.
everything. The energy, everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's wonderful. Basically, that's what it is. I would just like, since you help people also out. Like, so when people actually would say that they feel that they are uh, having certain sort of mental health issue.
Mhm.
So I know, like we've talked about that, they should seek help. Of course, that's one way. But in order to get to know, like what steps do you recommend other people, that how to get to know that they have been suffering from this? What are the ways you suggest to have that introspection to find out that where they are going wrong?
I think that should reach out for help. There is so much available for the mental health community. You know, there's groups, there are people who come together.
Yeah,
There's a lot of resources out there. You know, take the
yeah,
time, research what is out
yeah.
there,
Mhm.
and take the time and just reach out to a friend. Ask for help. If maybe you can't find the help, maybe one of your friends is able to. I know people who are heavily involved in the mental health community. So when someone comes to me and says, Rach, I need help for X, Y, and Z, I said,
Yeah.
great. Okay, meet this therapist, talk to this therapist,
Mhm.
talk to this
Yeah,
counselor.
yeah,
So it's about that too.
yeah.
You know, when someone says, I need your help, which people have been crying out for
Mhm.
very seriously this year.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
yeah.
I have read comments, not on my post because I read all the comments on my posts, on other posts, where
Mm.
people have said today's the last day of my life. Shamefully, the person whose post that was didn't even recognize that.
Mm.
So that's important. I have seen that twice this year. Today's
Okay.
the last day of my life. I immediately wrote the person, said, do you need help right now? And the
Yeah.
person said, I just wanted to be seen. I've had messages written to me saying, Rachel, today's the last day of my life. And
Oh,
this is so, and this is what I'm talking about. Social media is a responsibility. I said, whoa, 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 what do you need? And I was, I stopped everything I was doing, got him the help that he needed. So this is what people are missing. This
yeah.
is responsibility. Take it seriously. And if you're not, I'm sorry, don't be on social media. But
Yeah, I mean that's very important. Like here, I would say the two things are very very important that you've just mentioned is like um, that first of all they need to as we discussed it. First of all, they need to have that self awareness. That you need to just sit down with themselves to find out that it's if something's going on, and they need to like for example they need to do this session with their own self quite often to sit down and see that if their behavior is making certain pattern or not. So that's sort of the they will find out that are they picked up or anything, they get annoyed by certain situation from certain people. So that's how they will find out that okay, this is how it's going wrong. Maybe like for example, if someone goes in certain type of people and if they get annoyed by them, that means there's something wrong. And what is wrong is like then they need to find out, either they could blame them or they could find that okay, there could be something wrong with me, that it's something that is like provoking me. So this sort of analysis needs to be done, like in order to get the self-awareness. And then again, you mentioned that okay, when they find out that okay, there's something's going on and which they cannot figure out, okay, that they may find out okay, this whenever they go to these people, they have certain sort of the problem that they cannot deal with. At that point in time, they should realize that okay, this is the time that they need some other person to help them. And then of course when they reach out to, they should not be feeling shy to reach out to the people, because again now it's our responsibility, like as a person, that if someone is coming to us asking for help, we should always patiently listen to them. And we should also keep our biases aside and do not snub them or something, because a lot of people would just say this like okay, they either do not even actually respond to them, or sometimes they just say okay, they get annoyed by themselves, by the others, if there's somebody is asking. And that's happening, it's so much in social media as well. A lot of people like even like I get a lot of message about inbox message that how to deal with this, if they've been suffering from this maybe reason. And even people are asking for the job. We should never make fun of these people. We don't know that how long they've been searching for the job, and eventually if they get the message, we should be patient and we should guide them rather than making fun of them. So this
oh,
is
that's
our
absolutely true.
responsibility, is we should be accountable. Like if when we preach that don't judge others, it also applies to us, that okay, don't judge others. We are responsible to help other people. No matter how many times I get the request, that they need some job or something, I always guide them. Okay, they can get in touch with that person. They can help, maybe they can get their resume corrected, or maybe they can, so like there are always ways to help people rather than just making fun of them. Because I've heard a lot of time people always say that like the job seekers are sending lots of DM to other people and they get annoyed making fun of them. And I think that is what tell about the other person, that if you are judging others, you don't have any right to judge other
No, you don't. And it's extremely hurtful and cruel, right?
people.
I mean,
Yeah,
let's talk about that. So we all know people who have lost their jobs during this pandemic,
yeah,
or the stress of going through that,
absolutely.
or they can't support their families, or their companies are still doing cutbacks. It's absolute. Job seekers need our support. Their
Yeah,
mental health, that definitely affects the mental health, whether or not you have a job, or the stress that you've been looking for a job for
yeah,
years and years, or the interview didn't go right. It
yeah,
didn't go right. So when people write, I say, okay, you can try X, Y, and Z, and then say, oh my gosh, I wish you good luck. Try this. This is how you do it.
yeah.
I've been trying to teach people that for so long, like how to do it in this market. It is extremely different. It is extremely competitive. You
Yeah.
have to stand out right now in this job market. And there are ways that you can do that. There are
Yeah.
absolutely ways that you can do this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's they can do this, and it's just a matter of us. I mean, for whoever they reach out to, they should just either say that okay, you can reach to that person, and that can help you. It's just one liner message is enough, rather than no response or making fun of others. So
You
and
can't, and it gets out. I mean, listen,
yeah,
it
absolutely.
gets out. It absolutely gets out. Like, I mean, that's why I block. If if I hear something like that, someone unkind did, I'm like, listen, I can't. That's not nice. I'm like, you have no idea what that person would do.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
you have no
absolutely. And
clue.
I really like the way you do, just like as you mentioned earlier, it's you encourage other people even on the post, whether you like it or not. I mean, it's basically you just tell them a few good words and they may feel better about it. So, it's just about guiding them, encouraging them. You don't know like what journey they have been throughout so they just need a just pat on the back and to
That's right.
keep them going. It's very important
They
for
need positive reinforcement. They have
yeah,
enough negativity in their lives. What they need is
abs-
positive
absolutely.
reinforcement. Think about if it's that person, and we all start at the beginning, right, of our journey. What if
Yeah,
it's that person writing their post for the first time ever, and
yeah,
people are tearing them
ab-
up? No, that person's never going to come back.
yeah,
What if it's that person who's doing their video for the very first? That takes a lot of. I started doing videos about almost 3 years ago. Or I feel like,
yeah,
yes, about 3 years. I remember, and I've been posting, and then about 3 years ago, I started doing videos, or two and a half, something like that. I remember the first day I decided to get up and do a video. I was nervous. I was like had anxiety, but you know what I mean. Like it was like, but I did it. I did, and it was so wonderful the response I got. People were like, Rachel, it's so exciting to like see you on video. We're so excited. So
yeah,
all that stuff takes courage, and I tell people, when I see somebody saying, "Okay, today's my first video," and I'll clap for them, like, "Yes, you did
yeah,
it."
absolutely. They
It's
did. They took the first step at least, and That's the thing that they need to be encouraged. And to be honest, videos are also very difficult for me. I can do live shows, but making a video is a very difficult task for me. And
and
even
listen to
now,
me, people,
yeah,
no matter what we do, and we know
yeah,
this as
yeah,
content creators.
yeah,
No matter what I do or say, I can be putting out a very peaceful, kind message into this world.
yeah,
I still have that one or two people who say something negative. I immediately block
yeah,
them because I'm not going to be around it, and I protect
yeah,
my network. But there'll still be that one or two person tearing me up. And my thought is, it takes a lot of courage for us to get
yeah.
up to do what we're doing every day. We're responsible for a tremendous amount of people.
Mm.
So yeah, say that, do that. Positive reinforcement. 100% agree with you.
Absolutely, that's true. And I've seen I've though I'm not the psychiatrist, or I'm not like a consultant as such, but I do provide a lot of counseling to the people voluntarily. It's not something my job because, but I've seen that people just wanted to hear one sentence or one advice that changes their lives. I mean, literally, they've been stuck in their life, and if we just guide them slightly, I feel that their lives tremendously change, like from the completely upside down, and they are on the path to the success where they've been stuck. Maybe they are going down and down, and they don't know what to do, and just you give them a little bit of encouragement or give them the right advice, and they bloom and they flourish like this. So it's
And I love seeing
yeah,
people do that. I mean, I've been seeing my network from like where they were a couple years ago to where they are now, and I'm so excited for them. I've seen
yeah,
them, and now what they're doing is because I believe in creating that ripple effect, right? I think that we
yeah,
can do
absolutely,
that. So if
yeah,
we're out there and we're encouraging and empowering people, What would happen if everybody on this platform started doing that?
Yeah.
Started actually encouraging and empowering other human beings?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this only thing this planet needs is kindness at this moment, because there's so much hate, so much, aggression, resentment there, that we need to just put everything aside and just be kind to ourselves and to others. And that is the only way we can fix the mental health issue. I think we can fix that, the way the people judge, because if we are kind to others, it's they are bound to be kind to us, because that sort of creates, as you mentioned, it creates a ripple effect.
Yes. And I was told it's very easy. You know this about me because you know me pretty well. I
Yeah,
treat people the way I want to be treated. It's that
yeah,
simple. I
absolutely.
really, truly, I treat people the way that I'm hoping that they're going to treat me. And
Yeah,
that's something I learned it from my parents, treat people, every human being on this planet is equal. And
yeah,
that's the mistake that people are making. They're
yeah.
making it on social media, they're making it everywhere. Not one human being is above somebody or below somebody
No,
or
no, no.
below.
Yeah, it's not. We are like, we eventually we are just the souls. We are not even like, you don't have to judge people from the from the gender, from the race, ethnicity, religion, nationality. There's nothing. We are humans, and that's it. And that the only thing that connects all of us together. And that's the only thing we should always remember, that we are only one race. That's the humanity. That's it, nothing else.
I 100% agree with you. One day we're gonna get there, and you and I will keep using our voices to take it. Here, listen, this is reality, right? Why do the hate organizations get so much power? You know why?
Yeah,
Because they have very loud voices and they're very
yeah,
organized. What
absolutely.
would happen if all the kind people got together and we raised our voice
Our,
even
that's,
louder?
yeah,
Can you
that's,
imagine what would happen if we were that organized and we came together and we raised the vibration of the planet
yeah,
and said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to
yeah.
come together and we were going to lift this up.
Yeah, that's it. This is so. It's a great vision, and I hope the world will reach to that point. So, anyways, like we can go on and on on this topic, but I'm afraid that we're reaching to the end of the show. So,
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you, my sister,
yeah,
for having
I
me.
just keep it a little short. I keep it 30 minutes, as you know. I feel that like everybody is busy in their lives and they cannot just stick for more than 30 minutes. So, whoever has joined today, thank you
Thank you
so
very
much
much.
for joining. Yeah. Before I finish, like to end this show, I would say that I would ask that what one advice would you give to our audience today?
Go out there. We need your love. We need your kindness. We need your empathy. We
Yeah.
need your compassion. And if you know all those things, please teach other people how to do it.
Yeah.
And I want to say you're special. You're wonderful. I'm sending you so much love. And I love your heart and everything that you stand for.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a brilliant and wonderful advice. And yes, you said it so right that, one thing that I have seen that, like, people should never lose hope on that. And they are always needed. And that's it. They are all, like, you're all are wonderful. And just if you love yourself, we see that, if the person loves itself, they are bound to love other, because then they don't have any other insecurity or something to project onto others. So the first thing, you love yourself and then love others. That's it. That's so simple.
And thank you, everyone who joined in. We appreciate your
Okay.
time.
Okay, thank you, and bye bye, take care.
Bye.